Good morning. You're watching PA Harness Week. I'm Sharla McBride. Well, it was an amazing night of racing here at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs for the 2013 Breeders' Crown. The gang was all here. Steve, Heather, Kelly, and myself for one of the biggest nights of racing this year. The rain, well, it didn't stop a lot of people from coming out, and it certainly didn't stop some of these championship horses from giving us some great highlights to show you. Racing's fastest paced half hour starts right now on Comcast Sportsnet.
Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside here is Brett Messenger to the early. 15-5 before the halftime. Just over 3 to go. At the top of the stretch.
Hello there, Kim Asabi. Welcome to another edition of PA Harness Week. They're all special. This one, it's even more special because we're going to have a look at what happened on Saturday night. It was the 2013 Breeders' Crown, and the folks at Mohegan Sun and Pocono Downs, boy, do they know how to put on a show, don't they, Heather?
Oh, absolutely. The tents, the food, the whole atmosphere was great. It rained, but it did not dampen the excitement for the night, that's for sure. It was unbelievable.
Never rains in Pocono Downs. Oh, wrong song, sorry. Anyway, the big horse of the night, and they were all there, was the 3-year-old. He's only lost once, and it was by a sneeze. His name is Captain Teacherous. The excitement was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Woo! Everybody was excited about the big race. It was race 12 on the card, and the lovely Heather's going to give you all the inside on that one.
Yes, I am. The horses to look in here, for in here. Of course, number 1, Captain Teacherous. He's the favorite at 2 to 5. All eyes are on him. This horse has won 11 out of 12 races this year, and in several of his races, you think he's beat, and he's not. Okay, but then there's number 5, Vegas Vacation, a major rivalry between him and Captain Teacherous this year. And Vegas Vacation a couple times came really close to beating Captain Teacherous. Then there's number 8, Sunshine Beach. He is the only horse to beat Captain Teacherous this year, so it's going to be an exciting race.
And it is the captain who's moving back to the lead from Sunfire Blue Chip. Captain Teacherous in front. Sunfire Blue Chip is on the inside, racing in second. Sunshine Beach forced to grind first over, up on the outside third. Beach Memories racing in fourth. Luke and Hanover second over on the outside. He's about 5 lengths from the front as they reach the half-mile marker in 55-2. So a second quarter breather for Captain Teacherous, being chased a bit on the lead as they head to the back stretch. It's Captain Teacherous on the inside who's still showing the way. Right there on the outside is Sunshine Beach. He's been first over from the start, applying pressure. Sunfire Blue Chip in the loose pocket spot third. Luke and Hanover well spotted second over on the outside. Beach Memories is jammed in at the rail. Vegas Vacation third up on the outside. 3 quarters and 1, 22-1, 26-4 on the back stretch. It's Captain Teacherous and Sunshine Beach, and they are slugging it out. Captain Teacherous kicks out the earplugs, and Captain Teacherous leads the way. Sunshine Beach won't go away, hanging in there on the outside. The captain put to the test. Sunshine Beach on the outside. Captain Teacherous game. Sunshine Beach, Luke and Hanover. Captain Teacherous wins again.
Captain Teacherous pulls off another thrilling edge of your seat victory. Of course, this time it's in 149-2. Sunshine Beach was second. Luke and Hanover was third. And I got to speak with trainer Tony Alagna and driver Tim Tetrick after the race.
I always have so much confidence in him at the head of the lane when Timmy hadn't really chased him or called on him yet, and he was still on top. I thought we had a really good shot. So,
how do you train this horse? Because he's had a few weeks off, and then he's racing a few weeks in a row. What do you do differently with him?
He really responds well to time off. Like when he gets a couple weeks of a break, you know, we'll train him a little bit faster, but he's really good. When a horse gets in a certain groove and you know where their routine is, they really respond to it. He's at that point right now in his career. So
he likes to make it a close race all the time, but you know, at the half he felt great. I got a good second quarter breather, and even the third quarter wasn't bad, but I knew it was going to be a sprint, and Sunshine Beach never gives up, and you know, it was a race all the way to the wire, so I was really happy with my horse.
So you say you'd like to see another $500,000 race? Well, we got one for you. It was the final race on the card, and it featured the grand old money winner, Old Man River. better known as Foiled Again, the 9-year-old Wonder Horse. He is in here and goes off 4-5 with Yannick Gingras. Number 1, Clear Vision, another Ron Burke trainee, was 4-1 with Brett Miller, despite missing a week. And number 4, Pet Rock, the hard knocker, with Dave Miller, was 9-2. And here's the call.
Foiled Again does work to the front and works to the rail. Modern Legends left parked out there first over as they reach the half, and 53-4. Both the doors locked on the inside, and Wara We Needy looms the danger, perfectly positioned second over. Golden Receiver shuffled back. Clear Vision third over on the outside. Fourth over and eighth is Michael's Power, and Sweet Lou is at the tail of the field where he is the trailer, and Foiled Again leads the way. Modern Legend right there on the outside at his throat, applying the pressure. Pet Rock is trying to shake free. Wara We Needy is second over. 3/4 on the board in 1:21-4, and Wara We Needy is 3 wide right now, and Clear Vision follows him up on the outside. They come to the top of the stretch. Wara We Needy trying to launch his bid after Foiled Again. Pet Rock waiting for the passing lane. It's Foiled Again. Pet Rock charging up the rail. Modern Legend there. Foiled Again. Dead game. Clear Vision late on the outside. Pet Rock on the inside. Photo finish.
Foiled Again, as Larry the Cable Guy might say when he's not hawking Prilosec, would say, he got her done. And that's what happened. Hung for his lungs on a 53-4 first half on a sloppy oval. This gutsy little guy got home, got his nose on the hose first, just beating that young whippersnapper, Pet Rock, a 4-year-old, a mere 4-year-old, and 149-3. Seriously, though, Pet Rock went every bit as tough a mile as Foiled Again, but had to settle for second best. Number 3, Modern Legend off at 16-1 with John Campbell, got third, and we caught up with an emotional Ron Burke, the trainer of the winner, Foiled Again.
When it got up, it was a relief. You know, it gets him over $1 million. He becomes the only 9-year-old to get to $1 million. You know, to me, it makes him the aged pacer of the year. I mean, whoever won that race, to me, was the aged pacer of the year.
Of all the thrills he's given you from day one, is this the biggest?
I would guess, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, you know, he's done so much for us and for my family. So
you're very close to being the richest standardbred of all time. That's got to be a next major goal. How important would that be? How much does that mean?
I mean, that's been our goal since, you know, we got past Gallo, is to push on to that. You know, and the thing is, we got Ready Cash over there in Europe still racing, and, you know, that's going to make it interesting. It's not like we're not chasing a standing still object. We've got to catch him, and he's going to keep going forward. You know, the thing is, I tweeted, like I said then, we're racing till we're 14, so he better get ready to dig in.
Thank you so much, Ron, and congratulations on a big night. And more stuff is coming up here because we're going to continue to have a look at what happened at Breeders' Crown 2013. When we come back, our Sharla is going to go messing with the fans and find out what's going on that big night. And we'll have a look at some more big races, market share, I Love the Nightlife, and a whole lot more. Don't go away.
And I Love the Nightlife lying in wait.
When it's your time to shine, what will you do? At Mohegan Sun, wherever tonight takes you, it's your time to shine.
Hello there, you, and welcome back to PA Harness Week. She's Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross, and our Sharla McBride, well, she was buzzing around the Pocono Downs track because despite the rain, it was a great night. The excitement level was off the charts and everything was jumping. Was it not, huh?
Oh, absolutely. And there were fans from all over the world at Pocono Downs on this night. It was unbelievable. It brings a crowd from all over the universe. There might have even been people from Jupiter there, okay? So
Wait, the men are from Jupiter, the women are from Mars, or is it
something like that? Anyway, take it away, Sharla.
I'm here on the red carpet at the Breeders' Crown, where thousands of people have come to Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs for one of the biggest events in harness racing. We found people from across the United States and even some folks from Canada.
I'm from Ontario, near Toronto.
While some traveled far and wide to come to the 2013 Breeders' Crown, others had the advantage of traveling just a few miles down the road.
Tradition. Living in northeastern Pennsylvania, Plains, I come to the races all the time, and having the Breeders' Crown right in your backyard, it's a family event. I come with my family all the time. It's great.
The convenience of not having to travel far for this premier event brought many out to the Pocono track, and so did the thrill of betting on these world-renowned horses.
We won! I don't know how much money we won, but a win's a win, so we won some money.
An event for the die-hard harness racing fans, but also for those who just love the excitement of a big event here in the Poconos. The Breeders' Crown is for everyone, and everyone here is loving every second.
It's a great night all the way around, really.
A great night. Would you say it was worth the drive from Canada?
Oh, heavens, yeah.
Reporting for PA Harness Week, I'm Sharla McBride.
Thank you, Sharla. And by the way, nice skimmer. Do you like that gray duty she had on her head there, that doodad?
She's always dapper,
She looked
always
great.
vogue, yes.
And when we're talking about hats, we got to mention Jen Starr, who always has a great skimmer on her head. She didn't disappoint on Saturday night at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs. Okay, let's go look at some two-year-old races now. And the action is going to be hot and heavy. It was race 3, and Heather's got the first one for you.
I do. It is 2-year-old trotting colts in this division. Number 2, Father Patrick, was the capital O overwhelming favorite, and he did not let his supporters down. Driven by Yannick Gingras, he wired the mile in 1:54 for trainer Jimmy Takter. With that victory, Takter becomes the winningest and richest trainer in Breeders' Crown history. Second was Nuncio, and third went to Credit Fashion.
Okay, next up, the 4th race, the $500,000 Breeders' Crown Final. 2-year-old pacing fillies in the spotlight. Number 8, Precocious Beauty, with Doug McNair, was a 2-to-1 chalk. But it was not he, it was Ufuzi Hanover, who got up for Dave Miller in 1:52.1. He worked out a perfect trip. Number 2, Beachbody, a 40-to-1 bomber with John Campbell was second. Number 5, Southwind Silence off a 9-to-1 with Matt Kaylee was 2 back in third.
Here we've got the 2-year-old trotting fillies. While number 2, Cooler Schooner, was the better's choice, she went off stride at the start, and it was number 3, Shake It Cherry, who picked up the pieces, set all the fractions with a 1:53.4 victory, piloted by Ron Pierce. And this was another victory for trainer Jimmy Takter. Second was Struck by Lindy. Third went to Market Rally.
In the 8th race, $500,000 Breeders' Crown Final, 2-year-olds, Colton Gelding Pacers. And here's when the rain came and turned the track to slop. Number 1, Some Star Somewhere with Yannick Gingras was 3-2, but it was Luck Be With You, had the luck be with him, and beat number 9, Sometimes Sit off a 30-to-1 with John Campbell, a neck in 1:52. Some Star Somewhere was a length back in third. And now, Heather has for you the richest race of the night in a night full of rich races.
That's right. This one went for $600,000. The older trotters here, number 5, Intimidate, been perfect, almost perfect this year. 7 wins out of 8 races. There's number 1, though. Market Share hasn't really lived up to the hype as he did earlier in the year, but he's still been hitting the board lately and racing well. Number 6 is Mr. Herbie, coming off a gigantic second down in Lexington.
Intimidate taking no prisoners on the front end. Still a length and a half clear. Mr. Herbie is underway. First over for Jody Jamieson, and he's gaining ground on the outside now into the second spot. Market Share in the loose pocket racing in third. My MVP riding the pylons all the way in fourth. Arch Madness is fifth on the outside as they head around the far turn. 3/4 in 1:22.1, and Mr. Herbie is taking the lead. Intimidate could not trot with him. He's back in second. Market Share shifted to the outside. He's gaining ground for Tetrick. Arch Madness is racing in fourth. Market Share diving back to the inside to challenge Mr. Herbie. It's Mr. Herbie. Here comes Market Share charging hard up the rail. Mr. Herbie is game. Market Share on the inside. They're coming down to the finish. They hit the wire together.
Market Share got a great trip. Came home the fastest. Ends up winning by just a nose in 1:51 with Tim Tetrick in the sulky. Mr. Herbie battled really brave on the outside. He settled for second. Arch Madness, the older, gutsy 9-year-old in the race, he was third. I got to catch up with a very excited Linda Toscano, the trainer of Market Share.
How did you feel when they were crossing the wire?
I thought we were second. This horse does this to me. This was kind of reminiscent of the Hamiltonian win that day, where the stretch was just never going to end, and we were never going to get to the wire. I knew he went by, but I also know that Herbie's a pretty tough customer. He just doesn't ever stop. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm really tickled.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You're a breast cancer survivor. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, if nothing else, just how important is early detection?
It's the whole thing. Early detection, I can't tell you, I don't care how old you are, go. Get the memo. It's not scary. And what you find out saves your life, and it did mine.
All right, everybody, you heard Linda. Go get tested. It's important to get a mammogram. And this is not just for the ladies. Men, too. Men do get breast cancer. So that's a message, an important message for everybody. She's like a hero in my eyes. I love you, Linda. Thanks for the message. Speaking of ladies, though,
yes.
We've got some ladies we're going to check out now.
3-year-old facing fillies in the spotlight, race 7, the last race contested on a fast track at Pocono. Number 7, I Love the Nightlife, Tim Tetrick, 12-13 on the year coming in, the princess of the division. Okay, went off at even money, but the favorite was She Be Stingin', number 5, who went off at 4-5 and came off that monster mile at the Red Mile, went the fastest mile, 147 flat, that a female horse had ever gone in the history of the sport. The bettors obviously bought in. They're such a fickle bunch. Everybody else is all along. Let's see what happens.
She Be Stingin' facing a stern challenge here from somewhere over a rainbow in Montreal Teague, just a half head away. I Love the Nightlife in an unusual spot there in the pocket. Sits third about a length and a half away. Second over, Love Canal is fourth about 3 back. Then on the inside, you've still got Aunt Caroline. Further back, Maddie Terra Girl and Parley Beach. 3/4, 121-4, 27-1 there on the back. For the moment, She Be Stingin' fighting off somewhere over a rainbow. But I Love the Nightlife lying in wait. Further back, Love Canal moves up. Top of the stretch, I Love the Nightlife pulls the pocket now to take her shot at She Be Stingin'. And I Love the Nightlife is full of pace. I Love the Nightlife just blowing on by.
She Be Stingin' got parked 3 deep on a 25-4 opening quarter before finally making the lead. I Love the Nightlife took the 2-hole behind her. Then somewhere over a rainbow with Montreal Teague, who's a quality filly, took a shot at her in a 27-1 third quarter. And when the push came to shove, Timmy just pulled on the right line. I Love the Nightlife went by, boom, won it by 3 open lengths in 150 flat. Number 4 authorized an 18-1 shot with Pierce, closed well for second. Number 6, Aunt Caroline, a 90-1 bomber with Canada's Scott Zeron, was third. And I caught up with a very happy Tim Tetrick.
Oh, she's awesome. She's a push button, got tons of speed, and the best quality. She loves to win, and she's very good at it.
And when she gets to the front, she just goodbye. She's gone, right?
Yeah, she can leave 100. I left hard, and then I released Dave Miller's horse. She Be Stingin', and then top lane when I got room, I pulled the right line, and she just exploded on him. She knows how to do it.
We'll have more Breeders' Crown Championship races in your future, featuring the likes of Maven and Andrevet coming up. So don't go away.
Maven is relentless.
Feel the action. Get a taste of victory. Spice things up. And play to win.
Get it!
Mohegan Sun, off-track wagering. Allentown, Carbondale, East Stroudsburg. Always leave happy.
Hello there, and welcome back. This is PA Harness Week. She's Heather Vitale. I'm Steve Ross. And the next race we're going to cover was the 9th race on the evening. By now, it was a sea of slop. It didn't diminish the talent that was in the race, though. And this was the one, the open mare trot, I was really looking forward to. I thought it was going to be a great showdown between Maven and Check It Out. Check Me Out, rather. What happened?
Okay, well, first of all, yeah, great field. Number 1, Maven, bettor's choice, and she's won 3 in a row, including her Breeders' Crown elimination. Then there's number 2, Check Me Out. It really hasn't been herself this year, I mean, because she's been a champion the last 2 years before in her divisions, but she was second to Maven in the elim. Now then there's number 5, Dorsey, who there was another elimination last week, and she raced super in her elimination. So you've got these girls battling who all raced great last week. Let's see what happens in the final.
Cedar Dove with the lead of about a length, but Maven on the outside is moving up here steadily, about 3/4 of a way now. Dorsey on the inside gets a tick closer as well, and Fouadon's Mavis still saving ground. Second over there, Check Me Out, still about 4 to make up, but moves up much further back to beat Goes On Hanover and Real Babe. 3/4, 124-1, much faster on the back there, 27-2. Cedar Dove still in charge, but on the outside now, Maven is relentless. Dorsey and Check Me Out looking to close here, but Check Me Out is off stride. At the top of the stretch, Maven now comes out of the pocket. Cedar Dove desperate to try to hold her off, but Maven is moving on by here.
Maven was absolutely fantastic, right? A big effort, 152-3. She's trained by Jonas Zernissen and driven by Yannick Gingras. Cedar Dove, a huge long shot in here, took second, and Dorsey, also trained by Jonas Zernissen. Now she was third. Kelly Connors caught up with winning driver Yannick Gingras for some post-race info.
It kind of worked out the way I thought, you know what I mean? I wasn't sure if Pierce was going to be on the front, but I figured I'd be first over. She likes it, you know, and then from the rail, I was trying to get away close enough where I wouldn't have no traffic.
Yeah, she got a nice win in the elimination. Obviously, different track conditions here tonight. Did that play into this race at all for you?
A little bit, but, you know, at the end of the day, that is her racing style. You know, she's not that good on the front, and the front end's been a little tough on a couple horses. You know, no, it's been some winners on the front, but it hasn't been really the place to be, and it kind of played out for her racing style, so that was good for us.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I loved her hat. Did you like her hat?
I love everything about Kelly.
She wasn't wearing a hat. I was just goofing.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Thank you.
That's right. She had her hair in curls.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I just want to see if you've been paying attention. That's
well,
it.
her makeup was beautiful.
I got you. Okay. Next up is the 10th race. It was the Breeders' Crown Final for Open Mares. It was a pace. Number 2, the Hard Knock and Andrevet with Tim Tetrick, was a 3-2 chalk. Number 1, Proclamation with Yannick Gingras, and number 5, Monkey on My Wheel with Ryan Sears, were both 7-2. Here's the call.
The field moves on to the turn. It's Proclamation who's out there with a length and a half lead. Shall Escape taking up the chase. 3/4 in 1:21-2. Andrevet is back racing in third as the field comes to the top of the stretch. Proclamation still a length in front. Shall Escape first over and still coming on the outside. Andrevet looking to re-rally at the rail. It's Proclamation. Shall Escape coming on the outside. Shall Escape is charging hard. It's Shall Escape and Proclamation. They come down to the line. Shall Escape.
Talk about getting good at the right time. Shall Escape with Dave Miller coming into the race. Shall Escape had earned less money than any other horse in the race. Hello. Yet won this baby the hard way, coming first up and nailing Proclamation by a head in 150 flat. Andrevet was a length back in third. Number 3, Economy Tour, off of 50-1 with Ron Pierce, was fourth, made a big super of $1,197. And we caught up with a driver who looks remotely like Dave Miller, but it's tough to tell because he's so caked in mud.
You did it the hard way. You came first up. Did you think you could win the race that way against those tough mares?
Well, actually I come and I had some cover for a ways, and it cleared going into the last turn and left her first over, and she felt good at that point still, and I wasn't for sure I was going to run down a Proclamation, but she was dead game and showed a lot of guts.
Thank you, David Miller, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, and he certainly deserves that. Stick around when we come back. We're going to have a look at a filly trotter who is undefeated this year. She'll be going for her 15th in a row. You won't want to miss it. Her name, Be a Magician.
Tonight, it's ladies' night. The lights are low, and the stakes are high. Sometimes ladies' night is just a date night in disguise. At Mohegan Sun, wherever tonight takes you, it's your time to shine.
Hello there, you. Welcome back. This is PA Harness Week. She's Heather. I'm Steve. And speaking of Heather, she has the next one for you. It's a big race. Here it comes.
It is a big race. 3-year-old trotting fillies here. The main gal to point out, I would say, is number 4, Be a Magician.
The Queen Bee?
Yes, the Queen Bee. She's a big time favorite here, and good reason. She's been perfect so far. 14 wins out of 14 races, including the prestigious Hambletonian Oaks that she won earlier this year. So let's see if she can get the job done in this big big stakes race.
Be a Magician looks unhurried there on the outside, bouncing backs first over, and now within a length of the lead here. A strong charge there. Frau Blucher is getting a good trip there in third. Another length and a quarter there to Coffee Cake Hanover. This'll do is fifth on the outside. Handover Bell having a hard time sustaining her move, but it's still Be a Magician, and still Sears has an ass. 3/4, 124 even. 28 and 3/3 panel. Be a Magician repelled the charge of bouncing backs. Frau Blucher is right there still in the pocket. Coffee Cake Hanover hoping for an opening on the inside. At the top of the stretch, Be a Magician, and still Brian Sears hasn't lifted a finger now.
No smoke, no mirrors. Be a Magician is just that amazing. She wins easily in 152 and 4 for trainer Nifty Norman. Frau Blucher was second. Southwind Coco picked up the show money, and our Steve Ross caught up with driver Brian Sears, who is the reinsman for the richest trotting filly in harness racing history.
You got an awful lot of confidence every time you go behind the gate, that's for sure. And like I said before, it's you know, it's win or a very big disappointment. So you just want to let the horse do her work and keep her out of any bad situations that that you don't want to be in, that could jeopardize, you know, being in a bad spot and losing the race. So that's what I did, and that's what I try to do when I race her. And but she's very talented. Gets over the ground so easy. When I have 55 and 2, like we're going to half in a minute.
Okay, we have one more to show you folks, and probably the bigger story is, bigger than the race was the scratch that happened before the race, and Hamiltonian champion Royalty for Life was scratched. You do not scratch out of a $500,000 race unless something is really wrong. They didn't want to abuse the colt, and they wound up not racing it, which was what they should have done. But it was still a terrific race. It was race number 13. Number 5, Spider Blue Chip with Ron Pierce was 7-5. Number 2, All Laid Out was 5-2 with Dave Miller. Number 6, Creatine with Michael Chance was 3-1. And here's the call.
3/4, 124 and 3. 28 even there on the back. It's still Spider Blue Chip hanging tight. Smiling Eli wants to come again from the pocket. All Laid Out moving up from far back. Deadliest Catch making a late move. Top of the stretch here, and still it's Spider Blue Chip clinging tight now on the inside. Smiling Eli not gaining traction. Ron Pearson, Spider Blue Chip, late kick. Creatine too late. Spider Blue Chip.
As Heather would say, the itsy bitsy Spider Blue Chip made his way to the front before the half and lived to just beat Creatine in 153 and 3. I let you do the graphic stuff. Okay. Number 7, Smiling Eli was 2 back in third, and our Kelly Connors caught up with a elated Chuck Sylvester.
Chuck, you've been here in the winner's circle after a Breeders' Crown before, but how is this one special for you?
Well, it's been a long time. 98 was my last one. I've had horses in and just couldn't get the job done. This is number 13, and it took a long time to get it. Back when we were winning them 1 or 2 every year, it was easy. Now it's getting harder all the time.
This horse has been sharp, especially the last few weeks. Wired the field in his eliminations. How did this play out here when you were watching the race tonight?
Well, he takes care of himself. But once he left the gate, went to the front, and a couple guys got by him, he retook. Once he gets to the front, he'll fight them off, and that's what he did again tonight.
A truly memorable 2013 Breeders' Crown. Thanks, major kudos to all the folks up there at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs, also Rob Battoni, Mike Izzo, Ed Kapeski, all the guys from the PHHA, and the folks at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs put on a big-time, great, first-class show. Amazingly, 5 drivers won all 14 races. Yannick Gingras won 5. Pearson Tetrick won 3, Dave Miller won 2, Brian Sears won 1. John Campbell showed up and did a great job bringing a lot of bombs to hit the board in 4 of the 8 races he drove in. Thank you to everybody, all the trainers, drivers, owners are putting on a wonderful show. We look forward to doing it again real soon. And for all of us here at PA Harness Week, Bruce Casella, Kelly Connors, Sharla McBride, my partner, Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross, reminding you to pick up the pace, just a taste, and get high on harness.
It's only natural.
Explosive Matter wins the Colonial easily. Underway. Starting fast outside there, Messenger to the